This is sort of bittersweet, but we'll let Kevin tell you about it.
Hank, you know, I've been doing a lot of talking, and I said it last week, the happiest moment of my life would if I came back this week and said I took the mask off and beat the Star Warrior. And he turned out to be Bob Roop. Well, as you know, I did beat Star Warrior, and he did turn out to be Bob Roop. But I paid to have this tape made to show to my brother. And I came out of my own pocket to send this tape home to my brother and say, hey, we did it, baby. It's all over. I beat Bob Roop. Our problems are laid to rest. But what happened was, now something worse has happened. Our problems haven't been laid to rest. If you just can run this tape, and I'd like everybody to see what happened to me, what happened to my family. As you know, Hank, Bob Roop attacked my father. Bob Roop is a man, a professional athlete in the prime of his life. My father was never a wrestler. He was a social worker. My father is 64 years old. He's a man going into the autumn of his life. Roop almost caused that autumn to turn into a sunset. My father is laying in a hospital in Boston with a broken shoulder today. Eventually it will mend. But it's going to take a long time. You know, Hank, and the people out there know, something of the punishment we take is ungodly. But at 64 years old, you shouldn't be walking around getting thrown in the ring. What Bob Roop did, it wasn't human. It's the worst thing ever that's happened in professional wrestling. And I hate to say it, but I want the people to see this tape.
Well, Kevin, I don't blame you. And let's go to that tape right now. And there it is, Kevin.
Right there, right here now, they're ringing the bell. The match is over. I've defeated the Star Warrior. This happened to be the happiest moment in my life at this time. My father is at ringside. I wanted him there because I wanted him to go home and tell my brother what I did to the Star Warrior, Bob Roop. I thought this was going to be, like I told you before, this was the biggest thing that ever happened to me. This was the high point in my career, because I'm not going to take anything away from Roop. To beat the man, you have to be good. He was in the Olympics, he won a gold medal, he's won all kinds of regional titles, he's nationally listed in the top 10. Besides being a good wrestler, he's crafty.
Yeah, he was a national AAU champion, which is about as high as you can get in this country in this big a title.
Our mic is open, right? Right here, he's starting to know that he has to take the mask off. I had him bleeding, and I beat him pretty convincingly. You can see I'm walking around the ring savoring this victory, because I didn't want to go anywhere without him taking that mask off and showing the people that the masquerade was all over, that we all knew who he was. And like I said before, this was the happiest point in my life, the most important victory that I've ever had in amateur wrestling or professional wrestling, which spans a long time. I wanted my father there to witness this, and like I said before, the only thing my father has ever done in athletics was help me as a youngster in amateur wrestling. This was all new to my dad. He never was a professional wrestler, never was a wrestler. And like I told you before, the only thing he's done the last few years, he's been retired, is taking care of the garden and playing with my brother's grandchildren. He's trying to sneak out of the ring now, and I said, you're not going anywhere, Luke. I pulled him right back over, and I hit him as hard as I think I could hit anybody right there. I was so happy when that mask came off that it was my father can't contain it anymore. I brought him in here. This is him. He couldn't believe it. Said, it's all over. We're going home. take the tape to Johnny and let's let him see the whole thing. As you can see, Roop stunned. Right there, my father's not trying to touch Roop. All he wants to do is get him off me. He just wants to... This was deliberate as he looked at him. You can see this. You can see...
The shoulder breaker, and that's an illegal, that's been barred. Illegal hold. Oh, that's terrible. I agree with you, Kevin. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in professional wrestling. Of course, you were the obvious concern over your dad there, and I certainly hope he gets well soon.
I'd like to just say right now, I'd like to thank Dr. Richard sitting here because he came in and helped my dad. And like I said before, the only thing I feel, I let my father down, I let myself down, and I let all the people down that were part of me in my movement to get Roop. Because if you ever had to live anything over again, I'd just like to live 5 minutes of that match over one time. Because I thought that there was...
Well, this is very hard here for Kevin Sullivan to talk. He's watching himself work on his dad, who's seriously injured, now in a hospital in Boston, and hopefully he'll be out of it for too long. Kevin, good luck tonight, and I think that's the end of the tape. Yes, it is. Okay, we'll get right into the match now. Just a moment. We've got promoter Roy Shire here. Kevin,
Hank, I just want to make a statement right here. As you well know, Bob Roop misrepresented the fact that he was hurt. And he not only lied to the National Wrestling Alliance, that's all I can say is he lied to the National Wrestling Alliance, he lied to me, and I think he even lied to the fans, because when you say you're hurt and you're not, only thing I can say that's a damn lie. So because of that, the National Wrestling Alliance is now taken into consideration, and there will be a meeting in the next couple days to have the man suspended from wrestling. We've also are considering, too, of letting Kevin Sullivan use his hold again. And here's the one that nobody's going to like me for, but this is the way it's going to be. Kevin Sullivan has been fined $1,000.
For what? For what? For what?
If you'll just listen, I'll tell you, too. The reason that Kevin Sullivan has been fined $1,000 is before the match in the Cow Palace, I told his father that he could go down to ringside, that he could sit there, but he couldn't go in the ring. And after the match was over, he did go in the ring. In other words, he ignored my warning. And if we let him, that means that anybody can go in the ring, and we can't allow that. So for him entering the ring, Kevin Sullivan has been fined $1,000.